こんにちは、皆さん。今日、私たちは日本語を勉強しています。質問があれば、私に聞いてください。Greetings, everyone. Today we're studying Japanese. If you have any questions, then feel free to stop and ask me at any time. I'm going to continue with Immersion with Card Captor Sakura. Sonoho ga sugo e. Let's see. Circumstances, conditions, convenience, arranging, managing, and all. Let's see. Sugo comes from metropolis, capital, all, everything, and then fit, suit, join. So fitting everything, or the conditions, circumstances, or convenience. Let's see. So that direction's circumstances are good, or that direction's conditions are good. その方がすごいえ。The speaker suggesting that a particular course of action or time is more convenient or suitable for the listener than other options. It is a polite yet informal way of saying it would be better if you, or that would work out better. But I think in this case he literally is talking about a direction and not a I don't think he's talking about a course of actions. I think he's talking about a direction. Let's see. Can this be used for telling someone a direction to go instead of a course of action? So方がすごい Let's see. No, その方がすごい cannot be used to tell someone a physical direction like go that way or turn left. It strictly refers to a course of action plan. Oh, maybe it's related to what was just said. Let's see.
誰もいませんわ。避難したんだよ。
Hina to have taken refuge. Okay, I'm not entirely sure, but anyway, so let's see. Let's see what the translator says if I put multiple lines in it. There's no one here. They've evacuated. It's better that way. Okay. So, Daremo imasen wa. No one's here. Hinan shitandayo. Yeah, they have to have already done taking refuge. In other words, they've taken refuge. So no ga sugoi. That way, or in other words, the way of other people already taking refuge. So the way of people already taking refuge it's better that way. So that's what that comment was in reference to sugoi. So sono hoga sugoi. So daremo imasen wa.
なせいは避難したんだよ。
避難したよ。避難したんだよ。
その方が都合
その方がすごい
魔法使うときにごちゃごちゃ人おったら困るやろが。魔法使
うときにごちゃごちゃ
避難したんだよ。その方が都合魔法使うときに誰もいませんわ。避難したんだよ。その方が都合魔法使うときにごちゃごちゃ人おったら困るやろが。その方が都合魔法使うときに
人おった
ごちゃごちゃ人おったら困るやろ。
困るやろがSo 魔法使うとき So when using magic魔法使うときに when using magicごちゃごちゃ something 人おった人おったら Oh, this is probably from Oru, but this is the conditional tara of it. So hito otara. So if there are people, kumaru yaro ga. So that's what I think. That's to be at a loss. Okay. And I think he's using yaro because it's something he believes to be true. So he believes that people will be if there people around, they'll be at a loss when you start using magic. Let's see. What is this? Gocha gocha. Messi, let's see, this is considered a keiyodoshi or non-adjective or a fukushi or adverb. Messi also it's a pseudo verb or a noun essentially, so a meishi. Messi confused, chaotic, disorderly, mixed up, jumbled. Let's see, adverb usage. In a nagging manner about various things, complaining about various things. Okay, so this noun is just being used as a descriptor for people. What type of people? Confused people. Gocha gocha. So when you use magic, if there are confused people around, people will be at a loss. The translator says, it'd be a pain if there were a bunch of people around when you're using magic, wouldn't it? Let's see, what are the missing particles? Let's see, skull, tokeni, no particles missing. The wa, watashi wa, and ga might precede it depending on the subject. Okay. Gocha gocha hito otada. This is grammatically incorrect. It should be gocha gocha hito ga okay, no, they're just complaining about kansai bin at this point. This is kansai bin. Now, what are the missing? See, it says the missing particles would be, so hito ga, I figured that. Daro. See, just ga. No other missing particle. Konnichiwa, Vardo Elentari Genki desu ka? How are you? Okay, yeah, strictly speaking, ga is the only particle explicitly missing in the phrase. If you're comparing it to the full grammatical structure, here's the precise, okay. interesting they're calling them noisy people as well in the translation instead of just confused people, they're also calling them noisy people. And konnichiwa, Wild Arms. Genki desu ka? How are you? Okay, so full form gocha gocha hito ga otada. They're noisy people. In concept bin. Okay. Why no? Okay, so maho skau toki ni. The particle wo after maho is optional because maho skau acts as a compound verb phrase modifying toki. While maho wo skau toki is standard, dropping wo is natural in both standard. Yeah, but it's still technically a missing particle. Okay, gocha gocha. This acts as an adverb. Okay, so it's being used adverbally. This acts as an adverb modifying the state of the people or the situation. It doesn't strictly require particles like na in this specific colloquial construction. The gocha gocha hito, messy, noisy people, would be formal adjectival form. It functions more like an adverbial phrase, noisily or cloudily. So, gocha gocha does not describe hito. It describes otada. Yes, exactly. In the phrase gocha gocha hito otada, gocha functions as an adverb describing the state or condition of the situation. Okay. So maho skau toki ni gocha gocha hito otada komaru, to be troubled, to have difficulty, to be embarrassed, to be bought. Wait, could that to have difficulty? Could they be referring to her? She will have difficulty, and not they. Let's see. It'd be a pain if there was a bunch of people around. When oh, okay. So that last verb is for yourself. It's not the people who are confused having being at a loss or anything. It's that you will have difficulty if you're using magic around them. So let's confirm that. So komaru. See, does komaru describe the talk about the unstated subject, or does it talk about hito? The verb komaru refers to the unstated subject, the speaker, or the person casting the magic, not the hito, people. Okay. So, maho skau toki ni gocha gocha hito ottara komaru yaro ga. Or if there are when you're using magic, if there are confused people, then you will have trouble. Kochi de indayone. Is here good? Oh, I think she's asking, like, is it okay to use magic here? But why Kochi, not Coco, though? And why does it use Kochi instead of Coco? Kochi is used instead of Coco because it conveys a sense of direction, choice, or preference rather than a static location. Coco strictly refers to a specific stationary place here. In contrast, Kochi, the casual form of Kochida, is more flexible and commonly used in spoken Japanese to indicate direction or motion towards here or this way, preference or choice, this option, this side. Okay, so when you say Kochi de in dayone, this way option is fine. Okay. The speaker is likely referring to a choice. Okay, no, they're not referring to a choice in this case. Okay, I think it's because let's see. The speaker is talking about a location, but they are actively running in one direction. In this context of active running in a direction, Kochi is the correct choice because it emphasizes movement towards of direction this way rather than a static destination here. Okay, Coco refers to a specific stationary point. While running, while running it would mean right here as in the exact spot is fine, implying you should stop immediately at the precise coordinates. Kochi refers to a direction, vector, or general area. This way or towards here. When running, the speaker is indicating the path of the general zone to head towards, not a single frozen point. It implies the direction is the okay. So I think that it's basically trying to say she's using Kochi because that she wants to ask if she can use magic here, if I understand it correctly. But she does not mean that exact spot. She means that along this vector and general area she's at now. Hence why she's using Kochi. So, こっちいいんだよね。
したんだよ。その方が都合魔法使う時にごちゃごちゃ人おったら困るやろが。こっちでいいんだよね。確かにこっちからクローカードの気配がするで。確かにこっちから
確かに、こっちからクラウカードの気配がするで。Okay, so my guess about her asking about using magic turns out to be wrong. So Tashka. So most likely, okay, Kochikara from this direction, or from Cloud Kado no Kehai. So Cloud Card's presence ga suru de. So doing Cloud Card. So most likely the doing the Cloud Card's presence in this direction. So okay, so she was asking, is this the correct direction to be running when she said at Kochi de-in from earlier? Yeah, Kochi de-in da yo ne. Okay, so this has ni, this is in front of ni, which means it cannot be the fukushi or the adverb use. So sure or certain positive. So with certainty, is this the direction of doing the cloud card's presence? Or in other words, are you sure the cloud card's presence is in this direction? Let's see. Translator says, you're right, I can definitely sense the presence of a cloud card over here. What? Okay, that's not the translation I got at all.
その方が都合魔法使う時にごちゃごちゃ人おったら困るやろが。こっちでいいんだよね。確かにこっちからクローカードの気配がす
確かにこっちからクラウドカードの気配がするんで、うんPlease explain the grammar of this. Let's see. Tosca is adverbial. Toscani is the adverb. Wait. Toscani is the adverbial use? I thought it would be the keiyodoshi use. Let's see. Adverbial use of the non-adjective Tosca, meaning to be certain or to be assured. It may be used in the same way as certainly or surely in English. Yes, that's the keiyodoshi use, isn't it? Especially when the speaker wants to highlight A is definitely the case. So, Toscani, kare wa ikeman desu ka? Mana ga warui desu. Isn't ikeman slang? I'm surprised to see that in an example. Or as it translates to, he is certainly handsome, but he has bad manners. Let's say Tascani Sakani. Okay, Tascani Saki no wa I sugi datta gomen. What I said earlier was certainly out of line. I'm sorry. When translated as certainly, Tascani is only used green and cannot be used for giving permission like certainly in English. When translated as certainly, Tascani is only used green and cannot be used. Okay, so Tascani kekko muzukashi ne chotto amaku mite ta wa. This is certainly difficult. I underestimated it. That's natural Japanese. Here's unnatural Japanese. Tashikani shukudai ga owateru nara game o shite mo ii yo. Certainly, you may play the video game if you finish your homework. So they do not use Tashika for granting permission, okay? Shukudai ga owateru nara game o shite mo ii yo, okay? When the knee is removed, Tashika is often used similarly in a way to, if I remember correctly, if I'm not mistaken, or now that you mention it. When Tashika is used with ni, is that its adverbial usage or keiyodoshi usage? Or keiyodoshi usage? When Tashika is used with ni, it functions as an adverb. Fukushi, okay. Tashika ni is adverbial form of the non-adjective The particle ni marks the adjective's conversion into an adverb modifying predicate to mean certainly, sure, indeed. In contrast, when used without ni, it can function colloquially as an adverb meaning, if I recall correctly, or as a non-adjective stem when followed by particles like na, attributed, or da, predicative. Okay, so. 確かにこっちからクラウカードの気配がするんで。So if I'm not mistaken, in this direction, there is being done a cloud card presence. And the translator says, you're right. Okay. I don't think this is supposed to mean you're right at the beginning. Unlike Tosca, which implies uncertainty, if I recall correctly, Tosca ni expresses strong conviction or agreement with a fact. It indicates that the speaker which is sort of like its definitions 1. Let's see. Unlike standalone Tosca, which implies uncertainty, if I remember correctly, Tosca ni expresses strong conviction or agreement with the fact. It indicates that the speaker perceives something as clearly or not acknowledges the truth without a doubt. So Tosca ni modifies the entire subsequent clause. It acts as a sentence initial adverb, emphasizing the speaker's confidence in their perception. It translates to indeed or certainly, aka surely. Kochi kara means from this way or from here. Let's see. Kochi is a cat. Cloud kado no kehai means the presence or aura of the cloud cards. Okay. Gasuru. This is a set phrase to feel, to sense, or to perceive. Literally to do sense. It is used with sensories like smell, sound, or presence to indicate that the speaker is experiencing that sensation. So adverb of certainty plus source plus object of sense plus sensory verb creates a statement where the speaker asserts that they are definitely sensing something originating from a specific direction. The use of tashka at the beginning of the sentence adds a layer of immediacy or assurance. It suggests the speaker has just detected the presence or is confirming it to themselves or others. Okay. Certainty versus uncertainty. It's crucial to distinguish this from tashka without ni. So tashka ni kehei ga suru. I definitely sense a presence, high confidence. Tashka kehei ga suru. I think I sense a presence. Or if I'm not mistaken, there's a presence. Low confidence, recollection. Okay. Oh. Okay, so I definitely sense a cloud card's presence in this direction. Or over here. I definitely sense a cloud card's presence in this way. So 確かにこっちからクラウドカードの気配がするで。
こっちでいいんだよね。確かにこっちからクローカードの気配がするで。
Sakura Tomoyo, okay, okay.
からクローカードの気配がするで。これ何のカードの仕業？
これ、何のか、これ、何のカードの、
これ何のカードの仕業？
しわざ。
これ
Okay. No, this is wrong. This is not dono. Okay, so これ何のカードの仕業 Deed, act, deed as a negative deed. Okay, act, action, one's doing, one's work. So as for this, what card's deed is this? So in other words, what card would be doing this? What they're saying here, like scaring a bunch of zebra. これ何のカードの仕業これ何のカードの仕業 And that comes from attend, doing, official, serve, and then business, vocation. So performance and arts. So doing and performance. In other words, shiwaza, someone's deed or doing or actions. Kore nan no karo no shiwaza.
これ何のカードの仕業？折り壊したがるカード。
折り壊したがるカード。Wait, isn't that broken? Let's see, kawasu, to break. So kawashita is broken past tense. Garu. Oh, wasn't that the... Yeah, that's the attachment for talking about someone's actions, I believe. So doing breaking, I think. Please explain the grammar of... Ori, okay. Let's see, Ori... This is likely a typo. Let's see. Kawashitagaru. This is a valid grammatical construction combining the past tense to break, kawashita from kawasu, okay, with the suffix, okay, tagaru, okay, so garu, which means to want to do something, typically used for third parties. However, the tagaru attachment attaches to the dictionary form non-past of a verb, not the past. Oh, so the attachment is tagaru, so it's not in past tense at all. It has a tagaru attachment to it. Correct form is wants to break, so kawashi tagaru. let's see, kawashitai is a first person. For a third person wanting to break, kawashitagaru is actually incorrect because tagaru follows the mas stem of or dictionary form depending on the nuance, but you are using the mas stem though. Let's see, but standard grammar dictates vmas stem plus tai. Okay, for first person, vmas dictionary form plus tagaru is often cited, but actually tagaru attaches to the knife. Okay, it's AI's being confused. So Koasu. The AI is basically finding a lot of contradictory information. It's trying to figure out which is correct. So let's see, Koasu to Koashimasu. So Koashi plus Garu equals Koashigaru. How does the Garu attachment work in Japanese? A suffix garu is used in Japanese to describe observed feelings, desires, or behaviors of someone else. Since you cannot know another person's internal state, garu indicates that they are acting as if or showing signs of feeling a certain way. The way garu attaches depends on the part of speech. I adjectives. Drop the E and add garu. Example, samui, samugaru. So cold versus acting like it's cold, okay, or looks like they're cold, seems cold or acts cold. Hoshi, want, hoshigaru, acts like they want it, okay, so na adjective. Drop the na and add garu. Less common, often replaced by soul or nakao or nakao shiteiru, or in other words, doing a face of something. Let's see. Himana freeboard. So himagaru acts bored. Verbs, desires. Okay, attaches to the mas stem continuative form of the verb plus tai want to or plus garu. This contracts to attaches to the mas stem of the verb. See, for verbs, attaches to the mas stem continued form of the verb plus tai. So that's where the tagaru comes from. So tabemasu, stem is tabe. So plus tai, tabe tai. I want to eat. Third person, tabe tagaru. He or she acts like they want to eat, or appears like they want to eat. Okay, so that's why it's tagaru, because on verbs it has to attach to tai. Tai has to do with your own wants, but when you want to talk about someone else's wants, you add garu to that and drop the I, so tagaru. So in other words, they're basically saying garu cannot attach to verbs, it can only attach to not adjectives or keiyodoshi and keiyoshi or I adjectives, and they're essentially using something like tai as an attachment point so it can attach to verbs. So garu has an appears like meaning to it, or acts like it. So appears like wanting to do whatever, okay? So it's probably the best way of thinking of it. And I see why the AI was confused like crazy. So appears like it wants to break card. Or in other words, a card that wants to break, but you're saying appears like, in the sense that you don't actually know its intentions. Now, why would they say Ori in front of this, though? This is Kansai Bin. What is Ori doing in the front? Wait, no, this is actually, no, it was Sakura that said it, right? Oh, no, it's Keroberusu, okay. In this specific instruction, Ori functions exactly like the standard Japanese te or de form used to connect sentences. It links a statement being or existing with the following description. Kowashi takute, wanting to break, to ori kowashi ta. No, ori's in the beginning though. Okay, correcting the full phrase. The phrase ori kawashita garu karu is slightly unnatural even in Kansai dialect, but the ori is likely serving as a connector for a relative clause or state of being. A more natural Kansai construction for a card. Okay, let's see. Cards are sentient beings. If the cards have their own minds and will, how does this translate? Let's see. If the cards are sentient beings possessing their own minds and will, the grammar of ori kawashita garu karu shifts from a description of an object to a description of a character's internal state of behavior. Standard translation. A card that wants to break something. Let's see. As established, ori is the Kansai dialect form of ori is the Kansai dialect form of ite. Wouldn't that be ote, not ori? That would be iti, I thought. Let's see. For ite, for me to be, it functions as a continuative state. Then again, the I connector also forms as a continuative state as well as the te connector. So it adds flavor of being right here in this state. So a card that is currently wanting to break something. If the card wants to break something else, a card that wants to break things. Let's see, the card is aggressive, mischievous, looking to destroy other objects. See, if already. So is already based off of Ordu in standard Japanese. This would be Iri based off of Iru. Explain the rules of adding Iri or Ori in front. Your intuition is partially correct, but its crucial difference is how standard Japanese handles the connection. Kansai dialect uses oru for to be to exist. Continue to form ori. Usage used to connect clauses or indicate continuous state equivalent to standard teiru. Standard Japanese uses iru to be to exist, animate. So continue to form e. Okay, crucial correction. The form ed does not exist as a conjugation of iru. Really? Oh, that's right, because this is an ichidan verb. Noun form is just dropping the ru. Yeah, it would be ed if it was a godon verb for its noun form. Okay. Iru is an ichidan group 2 verb. You drop the ru to get the stem e. Example, imas, inai, ite. There is no ed form. How this connect? Okay. The rule for placing these forms in front of another verb, adjective to show a continuous state is doing is different. In Kansai, you attach ori directly to the te form of the main verb. Or use it as a connector. So verb te plus ori. Your phrase ori plus blah. Okay, here ori acts as an auxiliary verb, so is currently attached to the context It effectively means subject is in a state of wanting to break. It functions similar. It functions like the standard Japanese teori or teiru, but the te is often dropped or absorbed in casual dialect speech, leaving see so teori or teiru, but the te is often dropped or absorbed in casual dialect speech, leaving ori to do the heavy lifting. Okay, of the connecting the state. In standard Japanese, you cannot say okay, you cannot say iri kowashite shitagaru. To connect clauses, you use the te form of iru, which is ite. So, okay. Can you say I kawashite I kawashitagaru? No, you cannot say I kawashitegaru in Japanese. It is grammatically incorrect. Ori doesn't use a te connector though. In concept, an Ori functions as a standalone connector. Continued form does not require the te particle, unlike standard Japanese, which requires te. Okay. What is the difference between Ori kawashita garu kado and kawashita garu kado? Functions as a standalone connector, meaning is currently being in the state of so kawashi Shitagaru kado uses, okay. It lacks auxiliary verb to be. Simply noun phrase modified by verb, meaning a card that wants to break things. A general description of a card's nature. Okay, so I think, if I understand this correctly, I think this is essentially what I call form chaining, where if you have two verbs going at the same time, they basically can either have one happen behind the other, or in this case, they happen both at the same time. So it's both existing and wanting to break. So it's existing in the state of wanting to break things. I think that's what's going on here. This is just form chaining. So in standard Japanese, you'd say ite kowashita garu kado, and in Kansai Ben, you'd say ori kowashita garu kado. So un kawashita garu kado.
何のカードの仕業？森壊したがるカード。
衝撃音 shogeki. Impact, shock, impulse. So when basically impact sounds, shogekion. This comes from collide, brunt, highway, opposition, astronomy, thrust, pierce, stab. So collide plus beat attack. Utsu, so attack with a collision, aka an impact. Shogekion.
これ何のカードの仕業？森壊したがるカード。なんか横切ったよ。
なんか
カード。なんか横切ったよ。森壊したがるカード。なんか横切ったよ。
なんか横切ったよ. See, 横切る to cross a road, to traverse. Oh, nanika or nanka, as she said. Actually, what did she say? Nanka or
壊したが
nanika?
るカード。なんか横切ったよ。
Nanka, so nanka yoko gita yo. So something is crossing the road, or something crossed the road, is probably because it's past tense. Yoko gita. Or something traversed the path, essentially. So cut and then sideways, horizontal, with basically something cut across the path. So, nanka yoko gita yo, or something across the sidewalk. Nanka yoko gita yo. And it's Gita instead of, because of the Tenten word, which turns Kita into Gita. Wait, this kanji Yoko. I know that's the kanji for cut, but this is the Yoko as in Yoko ni next to something. So cut next to, in other words, to cross a path when you cut next to. Thinking of like cutting across a path.
なんか横切ったよ。ごつい速さやったで。
ごつい速さやったで。So hayai is fast, so hayasa is speed, because it's a noun form of it. Large, rough, big, okay, unrefined, rustic, boorish, extreme, excessive, tremendous. I think that's what they mean here. Extreme, excessive, tremendous. So big, tough. Okay, so gotsui. So gotsui hayasa yatta de. So it did excessive speed. In other words, it's really fast. It did excessive quickness. Or it's very fast. Gotsui hayasu yatta de. See, demo, nanimo miemasen deshita, but not able to see anything. But we were not able to see anything. Demo nanimo miemasen deshita, and then this is show. Shogeki. Impact shock. Okay. So shogeki on impact sound. Shogeki on. Okay. Demo nanimo miemasen deshita. Acha. Achi. Achi, yeah, or that direction. Or to be that direction. あちや。
も見えませんでした。あっちや。ゾウさんたち怖がってますわ。
ゾウさんたち、怖が、怖がってますわ。Let's see. If this was just past tense, they'd use katte, not kata. So, okay. I know it means something about the elephants was scared, but the exact grammar. Let's see. Uh, please explain the grammar of. Let's see. No wisdom, and then generational society public. Kowagattemasu. Let's see. Conjugated form of the verb kowagaru, to act. Okay. Kowagaru. Kowaga. Oh, it's not an keiyoshi. It's a doshi. It's a verb. So kowagaru, to be afraid. So kowagatte mas, in a continuous state of being afraid. Yeah. Not to be confused with kawaii or scared. Yeah. You actually notice this pattern a lot with a lot of Japanese words. They have their keiyoshi form or adjective form, which can be modified into their verb form, which can be modified into their noun form from their verb form. But you see those same starting sounds used with like E to make the I adjective, or in this case, we have. Wait, garu. Interesting. I wonder if this is related to the garu attachment. Is kowagaru related to the garu attachment of that keiyoshi can use, or did it come about independently? Yes, they say kowagaru is to be afraid of. Yes, kowagaru is directly related to the garu suffix attachment used with keiyoshi. It did not come about independently. The suffix garu originates from the classical Japanese verb garu, which historically means to show signs of, to act as if, to feel. Derivation, it attaches to the stem of I adjectives, removing the final I to convert it into a go-down verb. Kawaii stem, kawaii plus garu, kowagaru, to act scared, or basically to show that you're scared. Hoshi, hoshigaru, to act desirous or to show want. Okay. Historical consistency. The grammar mechanism existed since Old Japanese and Classical Japanese. It was developed specifically to solve the linguistic constraint when speakers cannot assert the internal feelings of third parties. Instead of saying he is sad, which assumes knowledge of his heart, the speaker says he is showing signs of sadness, or kanashi garu. The verb garu itself is believed to be cognate with or related to the concept of appearance or manifestation. Over time, it grammaticalized from a standard verb meaning to act or show into a productive suffix exclusively used for emotions, feelings. Sabishigaru, to feel lonely. Kowagaru, to feel scared. Desires, tagaru, from tai, wanting to do. And hoshigaru, wanting something. There is no separate or independent origin of kowagaru. It is a standard application of historical suffix rules applied to the adjective kawaii. So, zo-san tachi kowagatte masu wa, or the elephants are scared.
ゾウさんたち怖がってますわ。どうすればいいの？
どうすればいいの? If we do, what way is good? So if we do, what way is good? In other words, what should we do? So どうすればいいの? どうすればいいの? Or if we do what? If we do what is good?
ゾウさんたち怖がってますわ。どうすればいいの？何のカードかわからんことには対処のしようが。
何のカードが Okay, 何のカードlet's see. Let's see. 何のカードかわ
怖がってますわ。どうすればいいの？何のカードかわからんことには対処のしようが。
何のカードかわからんことには対処のしようがそう。Let's see. So what card? I don't understand the thing. So I don't understand the thing of what card. So I don't know what card, and then Taisho, dealing with, coping with. So opposition, even, equal, versus, anti-compare, then dispose, manage, deal with, condemned, act, behave. Versus and dealing with means, okay, versus and deal with, okay, in other words, dealing with, coping with. So let's see. Let's see. What card? I don't know things. see. Wait. Wait, I don't. No, not no, I don't understand. That's right, because it's not about knowing, it's about understanding when you use wakaru. So, what? So I don't understand what part things uh to be dealing with. I think he's trying to say I don't know what card we're dealing with. Let's see, koto is for making something a noun. Why couldn't they just use nani no kado ka? Let's see, we can't do anything about it until we know what kind of card it is. Okay, that's how they translated it. So, blah kind of card, what kind of card? I don't understand thing. Thing I don't understand is what. Please explain the grammar of. Unless I know what the card is, there was no way to deal with it, or I can't do anything until I know what. Okay. The uncertainty clause. Oh wait, does he say nan or nani? Yes, nan no kado. Okay, so nan no kado ka. What kind of card? Oh yeah, what card? Ka marks the embedded question. Wakaran, which is short for wakaranai. Okay. Do not know or unknown is common in casual speech in certain dialects like Kansai, though widely understood. Conditional statement koto ni wa. This is a critical grammar point here. It is derived from the structure nai koto ni wa something nai, which means unless, not, okay, or if and blah 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 does not happen, then blah 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 cannot happen. In this specific sentence, the second negative part, the result is modified into a phrase meaning no way to do. But the second isn't negative, though. It's say volutional. Yeah, shoka, that's volutional. There's no negative there at all. Unless this is after the dot dot dot. So that nan no kado ka is just a modifier, so the core sentence is more closer to wakaran koto ni wa taisho no shou ga. So, not understood thing. Let's see. Shall we do dealing with? Let's see. Okay. Speaker uses wakara. Okay. Negative state of knowing. Koto ni na. Okay. Implication: the speaker is stating that the current state of not knowing makes the subsequent action impossible. It emphasizes that the prerequisite, knowing the card, is absolute. While the standard text web form often repeats the negative at the end, wakaranai koto ni wa haji merare nai, cannot start unless I know. This sentence uses a noun phrase for the result, which is common in variations in natural speech. So wakaran and shoga. Let's see, wakaran instead of wakaranai. Okay, adds a tone of immediacy, frustration, or casualness. It suggests the speaker might be in the middle. Okay. Taisho no shoga, dealing with, coping with, or taking measures. No sho derives from shoganai. Oh, this isn't show as in evolutional of sudo. This is show as in let's find this kanji. Shoganai. This is the show we're talking about. Way method okay. From attending to official server and then manner situation polite suffix. Technical specification. Okay, so shogunai means there's nothing we can do, but they wanted to specify the way. So instead of saying there's nothing we can do about absolutely anything, they're saying there's nothing we can do about dealing with it. So taisho no shogunai means there's nothing we can do about dealing with it, while shogunai is like saying there's nothing we can do. And he just dropped the nai on the end of his sentence. So yeah, shogunai is literally like way does not, or way or method does not exist. Or taisho no shogunai, way or method of dealing with it does not exist. Why is koto used? Koto serves as a normalizer. Its primary function is to turn the preceding verb phrase, not knowing where the card is, into a noun clause. Oh, I get it now. What a card is. Not knowing what a card is. Okay. Okay, I see how this works. So, and then to turn into noun, you use koto. Yeah, in English you can just say not knowing what a card is, but in Japanese we need to have something to basically show more that that's actually a noun. So that's koto. So, nan no kado ka wakaran koto ni wa taisho no sho ga, or there's no way of dealing with it when we don't know what the card is.
どうすればいいの？何のカードかわからんことには対処のしようが。
Nakion, I think that's pronounced. Let's see. I mean, that's right, that's koi there, so nakigoe, that's right, that's not oto. So yeah, nakigoe. Nakigoe, or an animal's cries voice. Nakigoe. Yami no chikara o himeshi kagi-o. Key that contains the power of darkness. Actually, would it be contains or hides the power of darkness? O key that holds the power of darkness. Even though they're usually they're using the word to hide, okay? To keep to oneself. I guess hold high, I guess in this context sort of means the same thing. So, Yami o chikara o himeshi kagi-o. Shin no chikara. Okay, Shin no chikara o ware no mae ni shimese. Show your true power before me. Shimese. Shin no chikara o ware no mae ni shimese. Keiyaku no moto Sakura ga meijiru. So the Sakura under contract commands. I'm curious, is there a particle missing in... I think there isn't. But let's see. As the particle wo is missing, the correct sentence, Keiyaku no moto wo Sakura ga meijiru, or Sakura commands under the terms of the contract, if treated in contract terms as a direct object of the verb meijiru. Alternatively, if the intended meaning is Sakura commands based on the contract, the structure is unusual but de, or Nimoto Zuite might be more natural depending on the context. However, given the verb meijiru to command order, it typically takes a direct object. If Sakura is the commander, the object is... Okay. If Sakura is the commander, the object is missed. Okay, if Sakura is the one being commanded, the sentence is in... Okay, now. Let's see, so from pledge, promise, vow, and then promise. Keiyaku. Could Keiyaku yaku no moto be a clause describing Sakura? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, no, it's not well because we're the command is not the contract terms is not what's being commanded. This is if Sakura commands based on the contract, then in the phrase Keiyakumoto Sakura ga meijiru from Card Captor Sakura, the structure is Keiyaku no moto under the contract by the contract. This is an adverbial phrase indicating the basis or authority of the action. It modifies meijiru to command, not Sakura. Phrase translates to I, Sakura, command you under the authority of our contract. Let's see. So, Keiyaku no moto. Okay. Okay, so it's not Sakura under contract, is what they're saying. It's I order on the authority of the contract, essentially. Or on the basis of the contract, so it's... Does that mean it... Does that mean it takes the... Does that mean... Keiyaku no moto is missing a ni or de? No, it does not mean ni or de are missing. Adverbial phrase, meaning under the contract or by the authority of the contract. Moto itself means basis, source, or under. When used in the pattern noun no moto, it creates a set phrase that modifies the following verb directly without needing de or ni. Sensei no moto de here, okay. Sensei no moto Sensei no moto de manabu, to learn to study. So here de is often used. However, in formal or literary contexts like magical spells, nomoto can function adverbially on its own. Or the de is implied for rhythm. Okay, while Keiyaku no moto de with de is grammatically correct in standard modern Japanese to explicitly mark the location or condition of an action, the spell uses the more concise Keiyaku no moto, where the particle is either omitted for stylistic reasons or is considered unnecessary because nomoto already carries the adverbial meaning of under the authority, so no particle is missing. It is a fixed formal expression. This type of adverb can be placed anywhere without particles. For example, if you were to say Sakura ga keiyaku no moto meijiru. Yes, Sakura ga keiyaku no moto meijiru is grammatically correct and natural in this context. Here's why. Adverbial function. The phrase keiyaku no moto under the contract functions as an adverbial phrase modifying the verb meijiru. In Japanese, adverbial phrases indicating condition, basis, or time can often be placed before the subject or between the subject and the verb without needing additional particles like de or ni, especially in formal literary or rhythmic contexts like spells. Word order flexibility. Japanese word order is flexible. Both followings are correct. Okay. While keiyaku no moto de is a standard casual conversation to explicitly mark the location condition, the form nomoto alone is frequently used in written Japanese. Formal declaration in fixed expressions means under the guidance or basis of. Adding de here is not strictly required for grammatical correctness in the specific literary structure. Okay, so while you can have de after keiyaku no moto, it functions as an adverbial phrase, so it's not required. They're both correct, essentially. And they both have the same meaning, essentially. Okay, so 契約のもと桜が命じる. So under contract, Sakura commands, or Sakura commands with the authority of the contract.
闇の力を姫しかり真の力を我の前に示せ。契約のもと桜が命じる。レディーレディー。
封印解消 no しぞ封印解除 so termination from unravel and abolish makes termination. So 封印 no the G Joe 封印解除 yeah 封印解除. Let's see, this kanji comes from seal and stamp. Okay, so seal termination or fuin kaijo. Rerisu.
契約のもと桜が命じる。レディー。
Nakigoe. Nakigoe. Okay, yes. Animal cry. And the spelling of windy was windy. Okay. So U with the I makes the we sound. Wind and then D. So de with the E makes the D sound. Okay. So. Zoe-sanがおくけおけがすが okay, this is けがおけがすることだってよ. Is Kega injury? Serious injury, yeah. Interesting they write this in here, katakana, not hiragana. And Kega by itself is just does not recognize that word. Kega. Injury wound. Wait, can Kega only be written in katakana? Is Kega only written in katakana? Now, keiga is not only written in katakana, but it can be written in kanji, in hiragana, and in katakana as well. All three forms are synonymous with injury or wound. So why does this dictionary not able to see the word? Oh, I must have mistyped it. Oh no, it's not mistyped, it's... Yeah, I just can't look it up in hiragana for some reason. Okay. But... Okay, God. I bet it recognizes that. No, it doesn't recognize that. So, okay, got serious injury. So, Zo-san ga, okay, ga suru, tokodate yo. So, the elephant's serious injury, uh, it, it was. Spot, scene, site. So it's probably like a moment at a time or event she's talking using Tokodo, so that could have been a place for a serious injury. Phew, Mr. Elephant almost got seriously hurt. Let's see. Explain the grammar of using Toko in Zo-san ga o kega suru toko datta yo. Yes, because the translators seem to know it almost got hurt, but I don't see anything in the sentence that implies that. Toko is widely used in casual spoken to mean place or point or moment in time. I don't see any negative on that, so Toko Tokoro data verb dictionary form plus Tokoro data, okay, means it was on the verge of what almost happened, implying that it did not actually happen, meaning therefore the sentence translates to it was about to be a big accident. Okay. It is important to distinguish from the grammar pattern of ta tokoro tokoro de, which means even if or no matter how. In this specific sentence, toko simply refers to timing a point in time. See, I understand how tokoro can mean place and time, but what nuance shows that it almost happened but didn't happen? The nuance that an event did not actually happen comes from the combination of the dictionary form verb plus the past tense copula dot here's the breakdown. Dictionary form non-past. So using dictionary form, e.g. sudo and naru before tokoro. In this case, we used just a normal noun, okega. No, okega suru. Okay, so, okay. So doing injury plays. Or doing injury place in time. Okay. Using dictionary form sudo naru before tokoro places an action at the very instant before it begins. Okay. Using dictionary form, e.g. naru or sudo before tokoro places the action at the very instant before it begins. It describes a state of being on the verge or about to. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. To be doing injury means you haven't actually gotten injured yet. That's right, yeah. So we're on the verge of about to do injury, and then so suited tokoro at the point of doing, but haven't started yet. Past tense data. By putting the entire phrase in the past tense, you're saying that specific moment of being about to do it is now in the past. If the action had actually occurred, the speaker would be using the ta form, shita, did, or a different grammar structure. By freezing the timeline at the moment just before an action and calling that moment past, it implies the timeline moved forward without the action ever taking place. So, o ke ga suru tokoro datta. So it was the place of doing major injury. So okay. So literally, it's the point of getting injured, meaning where we reach the critical point but passed it safely, almost happened but didn't. So oke ga shita tokoro da. It's the point of having gotten injured, meaning the injury just occurred. See, in your sentence, the speaker is looking back at a dangerous moment that has passed, emphasizing relief that the injury was avoided at the last second. This is often reinforced by adverbs like moskoshi de, just a little, or abunak. What is that? Ayaoku, barely. Ayaoku. By the way, that's the kanji for abunai, if you're curious. Let's see. Ayaui, dangerous, in danger of. Worse than dangerous or barely. Okay, barely. Okay, so. Ayaui, dangerous. How's it different from abunai? See, dangerous, risky, Kyoshi, and this is another Kyoshi, dangerous in danger. Imminent danger. So abunai is for describing something is dangerous, while ayaui is for describing something in danger. So you would use abunai to say what's causing the danger, I guess, and you use IUE on the situation, saying that something is dangerous situations. Difference between IUE and Abunai. The primary difference lies in their formality, uses, context, and specific. Okay. Abunai is a standard colloquial term used for everyday speech to describe a situation or a high probability of bad outcome or physical danger. It is versatile and can describe both source of danger, e.g. broken glass, Abunai, and the state of being threatened. One's life is Abunai. It is also used to express uncertainty about outcomes, such as passing an exam is doubtful. Ayaui is more literary or formal term often found in news or written reports that emphasizes a fragile or precarious state where a situation is on the verge of collapse or failure. It's typically used to describe an entity being threatened, e.g. a company's survival is ayaui rather than the threat itself. It carries a nuance of anxiety about whether the current status can be maintained, or it is used with the adverbial ayauku to mean nearly or just barely. So ayaui is like not so much like a physical dangerous it only describes situations, not the threat causer, and it's not so much like a physically dangerous situation, but more of like a problematic situation, quote unquote, something in danger of something else happening. So, Zo-san ga okega suru toko datta yo, or the elephant nearly got a major injury.
ゾウさんが大怪我するとこだったよ。ゾウさんを投げ飛ば。
Shitsumon ga arimasu ka? Are there any questions? If not, we're going to raid, so please stick around for that. Okay, we're gonna raid Miki Mega Live as our first raid. He's currently drawing art. We're gonna raid Captain Nuno, who's currently studying Japanese, as the second raid. Okay, we're gonna raid Raw Phil, who's playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So, minasan, 気をつけて. Mata ashita. Goodbye, everyone. See you tomorrow.